Hi everybody, welcome to Into the Review's third podcast, and thanks for joining us. And tonight we have an entire new cast of guests to introduce you. So what we're going to do, we're going to start on our left here and introduce you to Robin. So Robin, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, I'm Rob. How you doing? Rob Jones. I write comics. I kind of letter them in a novice way, and I used to be a columnist for a site called IntoTheReviewCom.
Nice.
Excellent. And you've got something out at the moment, haven't you?
I have got something out at the moment. That's a really good point, considering I want to really be pushing. I write a comic called Paper Cuts and Ink Stains, which is out at the minute. You can get it from. Where can you get it from? Comics in Huddersfield. You can get it from Gosh Comics and Orbiter Comics down in London. Nostalgia Comics in Birmingham. You can pick it up from a place called Level Up in Liverpool. And I'm sure there's somewhere else. Oh yeah, OK Comics in Leeds. And,
hey, Leeds!
Oh, here's Jess.
Right, yeah.
She's come back on the screen now.
Yes, and Jess is from Leeds.
Yeah, well, moved there recently, so yeah, OK Comics is like my hub.
Well, there you go. You can pop in and buy.
Well, you know where to get it from, then, don't you?
Yes, exactly. I will do.
I'm a comic. It's amazing. Let's have a look. But no, like I say, it's out at the minute. It's called Paper Cuts and Ink Stains. It's a collection of short stories to which somebody else on this podcast has done the art for. And yeah, you know, and he's also got a comic out under the same roof, which we're called Madius Comics, and we do like weird, crazy, strange little comics. And obviously that's why.
Is there a train going past your house filled full?
What is that noise?
I can hear that noise.
Magnets just going straight past.
I don't know if it shouldn't be from my house. I hope not.
I can hear like very bad static noises.
Yeah, same.
It's an escaped train. It's the only explanation.
Something's gone terribly wrong at Rob's house.
Is it my end?
I just really,
and it's going really.
I derailed that intro there.
Really, I'll drop out, and then Nick can do all the talking for the moment, and I'll fathom out something with regards to like a speed through stuff. If it's going really bad, I don't want to mess this whole thing up.
Yeah,
I think the train has stopped making noises.
Yeah, you sound quite distant. You want to eventually get yourself a microphone.
Lean in.
Yeah, or lean in. Right, we're going to the middle of my screen now, to the lovely Anastasia.
Oh, had to be next. Hello.
Yes, I'm just doing it on my screen order at the moment. I'm looking at everyone.
Yeah, everyone keeps on moving around on my screen.
Yes, so introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Anastasia. I'm a nerdy cosplayer. I don't do anything cool like writing comics. It'd be awesome though. I'd love to be able to do that. But yeah, just a cosplayer and a fan of comics.
Excellent. And who do you cosplay as?
Most currently Harley Quinn, because she's amazing. And it's easy to play insane when you actually are insane. It's a lot easier to be
like
crazy.
method cosplay, isn't it?
Exactly. You're like, well, I'm quite crazy, so what's the craziest character I can choose? Oh, I know, Harley Quinn. That'd be a brilliant idea. And yeah, I do have like all of her comics, so I'm a bit biased.
You're allowed to be biased on that.
Yeah. But obviously I will be doing different cosplays soon. Not Harley, but she is my favourite.
So we look forward to that. And yeah, we now go across to Jess, who's now popped up on my right hand side of the screen.
Hello.
Introduce yourselves to the fans.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Jess. I am from Jessienoochies Cosplay. Jay and Silent Bob reference for everyone. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah, I'm a cosplayer originally from North Wales, but I've moved down to Leeds. I work as a content writer by day and cosplayer by night. I've had a past in like doing like writing my own online comic as well. At the moment, most recently, I tried to sort of like change up my cosplays. So at the moment, for Wales Comic Con in a few weeks, I will be doing Scarlet Witch from Age of Ultron. Woo! Yeah, it's all coming together. And after that, I'm doing my Dalish Elf Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition. Past cosplays, Lara Croft, Black Widow, Morrigan from Dragon Age, Black Canary, Elaria Sand from Game of Thrones. I have quite a big repertoire of cosplay characters, considering I've only been cosplaying for about a year, but yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I'm busy. I've had a lot of free time up until recently, so yeah.
Oh, excellent. I thought you'd been doing it longer than that, to be honest. But...
No, only a year.
Oh, excellent. You've built up quite a collection of cosplays then.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've forgotten a load of them, but yeah.
The last one I saw you do was Gamora.
Yes, Gamora. God, mind going blank. Yeah, that was. I'm also a sponsored cosplayer. I got sponsored by Cosplay Sky to do their Gamora.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, they sent me the costume, and I did like the hair and makeup. I had a friend make the prop for me as well. Because I was doing another costume at the time, and I was a bit like worried that I wouldn't be able to finish it for Cardiff Comic Con. So yeah, a lot of people keep coming up to me being like, "Oh, like you're Gamora, your costume's so amazing," and I feel like saying to them, "Yeah, but I didn't make it."
Exactly how I feel when I cosplay. I wish they'd send me the Arkham Knight Harley so I could do that for them and be like, "Yeah, you can sponsor me for that." Don't worry, I'll do great.
Yeah. It's I've been really lucky. Like in the past year, it's been like a really sort of nice progress I've had, and yeah, hopefully on to bigger and better things. Like I'm doing like my Dalish Inquisitor. I'm doing 2 costumes for that, so a lot of sewing because I don't have a sewing machine at the moment. All by hand.
Wow.
Great. So
that love and effort will go into your cosplays.
Yeah, well,
do it by
definitely.
hand.
Yeah, like I said, all my life for the past like month or so has been like work cosplay. So yeah, other than that, like that's pretty much what it's been. So yeah, but yeah, that's me.
Right, and we will now get down to Nick. Well, hopefully when he starts talking, he's going to pop up and take some place on the top screen.
Hey.
Oh, who's he going to demote?
And let's see who gets rid of.
I'm in the bottom corner of my own screen, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Demoted Robin.
He's replaced Robin.
I regularly demote Rob. My name is Gonzo. I am an artist and writer. I play Jim Valentino to Rob's Todd McFarlane as part of the Madius Comics publishing people. I currently am the artist and writer on 50 Signal, which is available for purchase now at all good comic book stores, as long as it's one of 2, which is OK Comics, I think. No, it's not. It's In2Comics and Orbital, I think. Rob will correct me if I'm wrong. And also an online store. I used to be the artist on Punk Rock Apocalypse and the writer on that. I'm also known for doing the art on the Harvey Spig series of comics with Clockwork Goat Comics. And I'm currently sat in my salon. Oh God! And I also once cosplayed as 2-Ton-21, the henchman from the Venture Brothers.
Oh, that's amazing! Oh, so I wanted you. I wanted you
life tattoo and everything.
Yeah, I want to do Dr. Girlfriend in like the future.
If you ever need a dutiful henchman that's secretly in love with you, I'll play 21.
Definitely.
What is everyone's next Comic Con?
Huh?
What's everyone's next Comic Con?
Mine is Wales Comic Con in a few weeks.
Nice.
I'm writing on behalf of like Geek Pride, so I'm interviewing people as well. I get to interview Xander from Buffy, which I'm like super excited about.
You're a character on the computer game.
Huh?
Say again.
You ever play the Buffy the Vampire Slayer computer game, which was like
yeah.
Xander's always the best character on that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He's awesome.
Yes, and you were
introducing Nick. We interrupted him.
Yeah, we all
say something to come back up
on Nick's. Nick, continue. Tell us. You you do a bit of cosplaying.
Yeah, every now and then I like doing. I like making stuff. It's part of my thing. I don't just make comics. I'm also I don't know, because I always hate this, because it's like that. Oh, right, so you're not just a comic book artist, are you? You're a fine artist. I'm like, no, I'm only an
an amazing voice actor.
It's one of my many talents, is that I can do a variety.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like, so I make stuff, and I do sculpture and stuff, and yeah, I mean, like, if you're doing something that's primarily mask based, if you're doing something that is very heavy on the old creating, making armor, stuff like that, out of cardboard and plastic, then that's what I can do.
Sounds so good. I'd
multi-talented.
love to be able to do that.
Yeah, you're a jack of all creative trades.
You basically do everything, don't you?
I've worked in computer game design.
Nice.
I've done illustrative work for quite big companies and things that now use this sort of stuff just in their like propaganda. And I've done work. I've never done anything like website design, but I have worked on a stop motion animation as well, like stop motion film.
Oh, hang on, Anastasia, your dog's off again.
No, it's not my dog. It's someone else's dog.
That's even worse. It's in the house.
You've got someone else's dog in your house.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute my mic and do charades for the rest of this. Yeah,
That's all right. He's all right. Your dog's fine.
No, I do all sorts of stuff.
Oh, right. So yeah, that's everyone. And obviously, anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Pete. I run Into the Review. I do podcasts. I review comics. I review games. My main thing, I'm a photographer by trade, so I go to all the conventions and take everyone's photos. Which is how we met Anastasia.
A very awesome photographer, may I add.
Yeah, very good. I've seen some of the work.
Everyone was taking
really
pictures
nice.
of me, and like I was most excited to get home and see the one thing he took of me. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so fun. And then when I saw the map, I was excited. But yeah, awesome photographer.
So that's what I do. I take photos. And as I said, the next convention we've got is Birmingham Comics Festival, which is in a week and a half time.
I will not be hardy for that one. I'll be someone else.
Yeah, I think Anastasia's going to be revealing her new cosplay for that. And I'm there photographing again. I've got this one. I've got a table in the event, so I'm not just roaming the corridors. I'm taking.
You did have a nice setup, though. It was quite impressive.
Thank you very much. But yeah, this time I'm taking a permanent setup, so I'm not walking around. I'm just going to be sat on my table, and hopefully people come to me, and I will take their photos.
If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's going to be my table of dreams.
It's like, this guy's cool. Go take your picture. Go. Anyone's going to like.
I think mine and Rob's first convention this year is July. Actually, we've got quite a while to go. It's Wakefield Comic Con.
Oh, awesome.
That's right, local boy. And Wakefield Comic Con, which is quite fun. I know Chris Barry from Red Bull.
Hang on, Rob apparently is in a cave again. Rob, how is it in the cave?
I live in a cave. Can you not tell by the... God, honestly, I hate this laptop. No, what I was saying was obviously we're at you up.
Someone blink twice if you can hear him.
You're breaking up, Rob.
I'll read it out.
We're losing Rob.
Aww.
No, Rob, come back.
I think Windows 98 is slowly giving up on it.
Aww.
Right.
I can't really talk. I don't even know how to use Dropbox yet.
Yeah, I've just taught you that today.
That was a stressful.
Oh, hang on, Rob Jones. I'm gonna
die.
Yeah.
Please
I've sent a text.
Oh,
you can read his text messages out.
Yeah, I will. If you want to make Rob, you can hear this, or if you can't, I'll read them out intermittently.
If you can type anything, Rob, it does pop up in the middle of our screens.
So we'll read them out
So
for you.
we can see it, and everyone else at home will be able to see it. So. This
You
is,
should just start writing scripts.
Oh, he says, I hate Windows.
Oh.
You can just start writing scripts for us all and like put our name, and then that person will read what else we say.
Yeah.
But that might be a bad idea.
That'd be like a 5-hour-long podcast, wouldn't it?
Start with Pete, because Pete can say something embarrassing first.
I don't need any help from anyone else saying embarrassing things. Just give me a minute. I'll put my foot in my mouth.
It's like my evil plan. I wish I disconnected now.
Yes, so that's everyone introduced, and so we're going to start the podcast now. 15 minutes into it. Oh, we've got some shameless advertising going over there.
Yeah.
I mean, a man's got to eat.
I mean, I tried to do it discreetly, but you know.
We all booked in.
Oh crap! It disappeared. Did anyone else get
Okay, Nottingham Comic Con.
We also booked into Nottingham Comic Book Convention, and we'll also have a table at Thought Bubble.
I don't
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is Leeds.
Yes, we're promoting Leeds, the city of Leeds tonight as well.
That's become quite a big Comic Con at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice.
getting bigger
What's
and
great
bigger.
about it is the fact that it's more about like the artwork than like, you know, special guests and things like that.
It's about comics far more than it's about promotion. You know, you go it's like
which is exactly what
big
this
giants filled full of all sorts of promotion stuff. But you go to Thought Bubble, it's more of a celebration of comics as a whole.
Exactly.
It's about new release from EA. Though the new release from EA is good. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We I was saying then, that's exactly what this Birmingham Comics Festival is next weekend. That is based on comics.
Is that Ice
Comics.
making that up?
Sorry?
Is that a comic book convention called Ice? No. Sorry, I'm making stuff up.
Wow, who's typing really heavily?
I think it's Rob.
Is that you?
Oh, it's me. I've got my microphone working.
Hey.
Ah!
I was going to say, what Nick's saying is obviously ICE is a festival down in Birmingham in September that we're hoping to get on board as well at the moment. So, yeah, like I say, I mean, Thought Bubble should be cool. Nottingham Comic Con is going to be pretty awesome and stuff. But yeah, ICE, you should check that one out. It's very much, again, all about comics rather than just other stuff as well.
Which is interesting, because that's what Madius Comics is all about. All about comics.
Exactly. Whoa, who would have thought?
Is that actually going to Edgbaston Con in a few days? Next weekend?
Is what, sorry?
Anyone actually going to Edgbaston Comic Con?
Me.
But I know you're going.
I don't even know where Edgbaston is, or if I'm saying it right.
It's in Birmingham. That's the one we've just been talking about, the Birmingham Comics
Oh, right.
Festival. But it's in Edgbaston Cricket Ground.
He used to live there.
Rob used to live there, apparently.
We're all psychic. We just happen to know that.
Oh, I love technical difficulties. It's what makes it so much fun.
See, I thought this was going to be me, but, you know, I'm kind of glad it wasn't.
No,
I get the feeling Rob doesn't like technical difficulties.
No. I'm starting to think that.
Not that he says that or anything.
But yeah, so now we are going to talk about comics. And we're adding cameras and things.
Yeah, I sent that about 2 months ago.
Yes, we are adding cameras and things.
Yeah, just.
Yes, so anyone been reading anything new, or is everyone still catching up on old?
Is anyone reading or has read The Surface from Image Comics?
I've heard of
I've
it.
heard of that.
No. Tell us about that, mate.
I honestly think that it may be a delusion I'm inventing, right? Like, it's one of those things I just picked it up because the cover was nicely designed. If there's one thing that Image Comics are going for them, they do really great cover design at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
I always pick things up when
the art's amazing.
pretty.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
like,
you
oh,
look
this
like-
looks really good.
Yeah, they've gone for a very much a unified standard for all of their titles. So, like, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
Big Man Plans has got Big Man Plans covers, and you know, Kisnova's got Kisnova covers. But like, The Surface is a comic book that we will be talking about after it's finished. Right? It's a comic book series that is saying important things that everyone's going to miss for the first. It's like this when the Sex Pistols played in Manchester. It's gonna, like everyone's going to be stood there going, "Yeah, I was there," but no one read it. You know, like it was 4 people in a room, but then in the end, everyone claimed to have been there because it is incredibly clever. I mean, it's by some people whose names are not. It's like it's really weird because it sort of just it uses various types of narrative format. So it's interspersed with different sort of articles and things that all add up to a very interesting story. It's got 2 narrators. It's got a trans-metropolitan style crazy future where technology has exploded, and it is really a sort of commentary on the phenomenology of consciousness. And I think that I honestly think that it is a very important comic book that more people should be reading.
I've written that down. I shall look into that. So I literally just make.
It's on the
I've
to-do
got a little
list.
pad. I just make notes of everything.
2 came out today, and it's one of those second issues where you think you know where it's going, and then by the end of it, it's just unraveled everything. It's just unpicked
It's
everything.
like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I was not
It's
expecting
like,
that.
Jesus, I thought he was the main character, and then it isn't. It's following
That
somebody
always
else.
happen like always like, oh, this is really good, and then everything changes, and you're like,
yeah, it's one of the comics you
but that's what makes it a good read, you know.
I know, I love it when that happens.
No, has anyone read Nameless?
Yep, number 3 came out today for that one. That
Yeah.
has had a massive direction change as well today.
Oh my god, the first one, I was literally thinking, no, I'm not going to read any more of this.
Why?
Because the first, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Oh, yeah, Grant Morrison.
It was literally, there was no storyline. It was just pretty pictures and words. And it made
I like
no
pretty
sense. And I was like, this is awful. But then I read it again. Something caught my, I don't know what, but something caught my attention. And I thought, I'm going to read that again. And it made a little bit more sense the second time. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to subscribe to it. So I then got issue 2 through and read that. And issue 2 is brilliant. Actually, it is a story.
It
is making sense. And yeah, it's going somewhere. So issue 3, like I say, I get all my comics mail order. So on New Comic Day, I then have to wait 2 days for them to come through my door. So Nick's been talking about, oh yeah, have you read this one yet? It's come out today. I'm like, screw you, Nick. That's it. Wave it in front of me. Don't you dare open that.
Oh.
I was talking to a random page. Oh look!
You.
No, I honestly think that
Show him the last page, just do it.
I can't show you the last page because the last page, no.
Oh, is it a spoiler? Is it?
No spoilers.
It's impossible to have a spoiler in a comic book like this because there's no sense to spoil. Like, but I mean,
exactly
I could show it to you, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's odd," and then if you read it, then it would make more sense. But you know, like singles as comic books, they don't always work as singles. You know, sometimes
you need the trade so you can literally.
It limits your writing to a degree. I mean, if you work around it, it doesn't. But if you're working to try and tell a concise narrative story that wants development, I mean, just this is not shameless advertising. This is speaking from personal experience. But like when I was writing 50 Signal, the comic book that you can now buy that I did, it's like when Rob was like, "We're publishing this, and you've got no option about it." I was like, "Shit, everyone's going to complain it's really slow because I'm building up to something happening somewhere else, and people have all appreciated the pace." But with Grant Morrison, instead of waiting for 20 odd pages for something to happen, he waits 20 odd pages to make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
He's there throwing around concepts like Zilbalba and the main city of Pain, and he's hurling out things like consciousness magic and insectoid parasites, and just throwing layers of dreams at you like Christopher Nolan with ADHD. And swearing all the way. It's just you read it, and then if you read it about 8-9 times, it'll make perfect sense. But for the first couple, it'll like somebody repeatedly hitting you in the face with a Bible.
It sounds a little bit like the AMC of comic books, a little bit.
Yeah.
The more you read comics, the more you realise and notice things that you didn't before. So, like, when you go back and read them, you're like, oh, I understand that more now. And that you kind of understand the story better, and that kind of makes you want to buy the next one.
Yeah, it's like a formula of it, almost.
So, if you read a comic the first time, you're like, I have no idea what's going on in this comic. I find when you read it the second time, you kind of want to buy the next one.
Which is exactly what Nameless has done. The first one, no one knew. I spoke to so many people. I go, what do you think of Nameless? And they're like, I want to read issue 2, and no one knew why they want to read issue 2, because I say issue 1 made no sense. I'm hoping the further you read, if you then go back to issue 1, you'd be like, yeah, that is making sense now.
Yeah, now that you've read issue 2, does issue 1 kind of make more sense now?
I've not gone back and reread issue 1 yet, but I don't think it will. From what
I really want to read this comic now.
Have you not read issue 2 yet?
Yes.
No, you have read issue 2, but not 3.
I'm waiting for 3. So yeah.
3 will arrive.
It's the same as Big Man Plan that came out today, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
Big Man Plan.
2. That's only a 4-part series.
Only 4 parts, yeah.
But wow, the first part. I mean, when you get a naked midget punching a big muscly guy in the dick, that's
amazing.
There's a lot of dick punching. There's a lot of dick.
That is the comic to read.
It is.
You had me at midget. So
yeah.
The Big Man Plan centers around. Apparently, the idea came from it because the writer is Eric Powell and a friend of his whose name I have completely vanished. Who is the other guy?
Oh, very nice.
Weish.
Eric Powell and Tim Weish. Eric Powell's the guy who done the Goon.
He done the Goon. He done the Goon good.
Literally done the Goon so well.
And they traded back a couple of texts about the excess of different situations, and then they created a comic book, a hard-boiled grindhouse-style movie about a midget wreaking vengeance for reasons unknown.
Yeah, we shall give you a clip it. There's the midget dick punching.
Wow, that is
there's-
some
Not
sauce
like a
behind
midget.
that.
There's the naked midget.
So
with
this
the
is
big
that
GoPro
sort of
up.
podcast, is it?
This is-
censoring the naked midget.
No, this is what you get on an In the Review podcast. It's full
Okay, so
frontal
no censor.
male nudity.
That's
It's
brilliant. That's
it's
all
what
we
the
ever
fans
want.
I'm wondering what kind of fan base you're going to be attracting now if you said that.
Just mainly midget lovers.
Yeah, and male nudity lovers.
I mean, comic books I'm reading at the moment, The Surface, Nameless, Big Man Planet, Casanova, all of them have had large
Casanova's
amounts of full
brilliant.
male nudity at times. I think it's just something about me and it doesn't about the comics, but
But Image at the moment are producing some fantastic.
they're on fire, man. You know,
Yeah.
half
they are.
of my.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to have to move this now. But half of my pull list, which I've got here ready for today, well, more than half, about 3/4 of that are Image comics.
Mm.
There's not the only Marvel I've got in there that I was going to talk about is Spider-Gwen and Silk.
Mm.
Those are the
yeah.
only two at the moment worth
Reading.
reading.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck was good. I'm still waiting for issue 2 on that. That'll come out today as well, didn't it?
The
Yeah,
issue
so-
2 cover is fantastic. Is Howard the Duck and all of the Guardians of the Galaxy doing
Yes.
a selfie.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Oh, sorry, no, I said that's the only Marvel thing. It's not 'cause on my little list. I've been reading because Marvel's obviously gone back to Star Wars, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've read the Darth Vader and the Princess Leia.
Oh, with Kieran Gillen on the Darth Vader.
They're good. I enjoyed them. I'm not a big Star Wars reader. I like the films, but never really read the comics.
The thing about the Darth Vader one is they actually managed to make the Darth Vader invention of C-3PO not lame.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a glorious achievement.
I quite like it in this comic where Darth Vader's basically being told what to do.
Yeah, because
And that
Yeah,
I
that-
love, because he's not the big... people say,
Yeah.
no,
No.
Darth Vader, you sit down, you shut up. This guy's going to tell you what to do.
You
And
do
he's a
what
bit
you're
like...
told.
oh, he was a
Oh,
henchman.
right, yeah.
He is, by definition, the apprentice from
Yeah.
to end.
Because basically he
You
screwed
don't
up
really-
with the Death Star, and they're basically telling him off.
Yeah.
Like, you've done wrong there, mate. You're going back to school.
Because they brought back that guy who disagrees with Grand Moff Tarkin in the first one, and he's now a main character.
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
And it's all about politics of Star Wars, which sounds really dull, but it's actually really interesting.
it was good. And have you read the Princess Leia one as well?
I haven't read the Princess Leia one.
That-
I saw the words Darth Vader in large letters and was like, I'm going to buy that.
No, the Princess Leia one's good as well. They all sort of, they're obviously all going alongside of each other, just different sides of what's going on.
Really super brave if Marvel could bring Star Wars into the Secret Wars.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
I don't know that happen either, but hey, they fought in Soul Calibur 5, so anything's possible.
Yeah, that's true.
That was one of the worst, shameless tie-ins of all time.
But the Secret Wars, when's that starting? That's soon, isn't it?
That is soon, yeah.
Yeah.
And our go at the
Yeah.
moment.
You can see Anastasia's looking at us going, what the fuck is...
I was like, no,
Ooh.
because I don't think I can hear everybody properly anyway. But I've noticed that blue lines come up underneath whoever's talking, which
Yes.
is quite handy.
Oh.
That happens. Oh, you're learning Skype.
can tell.
Secret Wars is basically a new sort of arc coming out with Marvel,
Oh, okay.
which they're getting rid of some of the old... They're getting rid of Star-Lord.
Yeah.
They're
Boo.
getting rid of his series, which I was upset because I quite like that. And
Yeah,
Rocket Raccoon
yeah,
as well, I
same.
think they're stopping.
They're basically just drawing a line under everything.
And they're starting
and
anew.
starting again, which I really admired. I really, really admired Marvel for not doing that. They've gone on for so long and they've not just gone, stop, let's reinvent everything, let's do a new 52. And then now they're just going to go, actually, we do want to do a new 52. That for you, and I don't want them to.
No.
I
No,
don't think it's necessary.
There's no need for it, really. Yeah.
Marvel now, that was fantastic. You got new jumping on points for everybody. You kept the characters as they were, but you gave them revamped stories people get involved in. You didn't have to have a heavy reliance on what happened 19 issues ago. Well, super cool. They weren't they weren't afraid to change stuff about, and now just going, actually, no, we regret doing that. We're just going to kill off everybody. But James Stokoe, the guy who did the... did anyone buy the 200 anniversary stuff? Was it 100 anniversary stuff for Marvel?
No.
They did a whole bunch of one-shots doing their 100th anniversary, like 25 years early. And he did the Avengers Year 100, where it was... The Avengers were Rogue, the 12th reincarnation of Doctor Strange, and Beta Ray Bill, and Tony Stark was a brain in a tank controlling like 100.
That's amazing.
Absolutely bad shit. And I don't know if you know anything about James Stokoe's art, but he just... Let's look, see.
It's in the library.
Let me look in my library of
to the
comics.
library.
James
I did
Stokoe...
get my smoking jacket.
How does he find everything so quickly? I don't know how he did that.
It's ordered... No, it isn't.
Oh, please.
So James Stokoe's artwork is just... He just loses his shit. He just... The level of detail that the man goes into. This is a Godzilla Half-Century War. If you don't like Godzilla, buy it anyway. Because it's just an absolutely insane story about one man's 50-year campaign to try and understand why Godzilla is just a destructive force. And basically each different issue tells a major story in the Godzilla series, but just not in a camp or ridiculous way. And every single issue starts with a map with that quality of detail in it.
No, it's
we're getting the
crazy.
reflection off your screen a bit there.
Sorry. But I'll hold it at an angle. We'll go in at an angle. But,
And also, this could be really good for the people who've downloaded the MP3 version of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an
Just
MP3.
listen to this artwork.
Basically, the artwork
This artwork.
really detailed. The artwork is really detailed, and it's amazing. But he's doing a whole bunch of... I think he's doing some stories for it, and it is going to be nuts.
Oh, brilliant. We'll have to...
He did release one piece of concept art, which is every single possible MODOK fighting.
Wow.
Yeah, MODOK is, for the people who don't know, is an enormous head with tiny limbs that flies around in a death chair.
Yeah.
And MODOK is a machine... oh, God, something organism designed only for killing. And it's just one of the campest, things ever created by Marvel, and he's managed to make it even camper, which is something that I admire him for.
Oh, fantastic.
DC Comics, right?
DC.
Yeah. How about them DC?
Who's the DC fan, I wonder?
Right. Anastasia, it's over to you.
Batman t-shirt.
DC.
Clothes,
Oh,
hats,
God.
everything.
No, it's just I do like Marvel. I love Marvel, but I also love DC. So I obviously have far too many DC comics to...
It's either one or the other, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I
Although-
mean. Like, people like you can't love one more than the other.
Mm.
But then I suppose some people see it as like choosing between their children. So
Yeah,
I think it varies.
DC haven't put anything out in a while that I've actually, want.
That's what I mean. That's why I haven't really gotten anything recent. Although I know the Suicide Squad series has come out as well, the New 52, and that's really good as well. But they're making a film of it now. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I wrote an article about it actually.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I just I'm not. Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to work.
I don't know either. That's why I'm
I don't
worried
think
about.
it is. I think although I don't know. I just think I understand why, because they've got to introduce sort of like the
characters
first again, but there's no need for Joker because he's not in the Suicide Squad, you know. So yeah, I just think it's a bit strange, really.
What they're trying to do is like introduce the characters that are like sort of lesser known, where because like they haven't got all their main characters in films, whereby like Marvel have done the Avengers and things like that. So.
They kind of they really did sort of like shoot themselves in the foot with all of that. And it was really just down to like poor planning more than anything.
They are saying that they're bringing out the Justice League film as well, but isn't it in like 2016, 17?
Well,
like,
yeah, exactly.
far away from me. I'm just getting so impatient. I'm like, please just bring it out now.
Yeah, I think the thing is like they did I think they wanted to do it with obviously they did like Green Lantern, and I think
we talked about the Green Lantern.
That was amazing.
amazing film. Yeah, no, the thing is like when I watched it when it came out, and I thought like it's not jaw-droppingly bad, but it's not good either. It's just really like meh, you know.
It shouldn't have been Ryan Reynolds. He's not a Green Lantern.
No, he's
why I was like,
He's all about Deadpool, you know.
Exactly. I've come to see in the past week or so. I think it's just they just kind of like fucked it up really, and I think they've realised that oh crap, Marvel are they've actually they've really done something good here. It's taken them a good few years, but now they set up a universe and it will continue. I know that sorry, I'm going back to Marvel again. But I know that obviously
they're sweating now.
It's true.
And I know that with say with Iron Man, they've said that when Robert Downey Jr. wants to, when he basically ends, stops being Iron Man, they will just reincarnate it a bit like James Bond in a way.
Robert Downey Jr. can ever stop being Iron Man. I
know, he's constantly, always.
Is going to have to explain to him that there's Robert Downey Jr. and Stark, and not the two.
I know, yeah.
The only way they could do it is if they take over the Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
That would be the only way. They can't just get another actor in to play Tony Stark. They're going to have to change the whole thing and do the whole storyline of Pepper Potts.
Which they could do.
That actually sounds quite interesting, actually.
See?
Yeah, I think I also really like about Marvel is the fact that they are introducing the female characters. I mean, obviously they've got Captain Marvel coming out in a few years as well.
In the new Avengers comic they just brought out. They've got Iron Man in there, but they obviously don't reveal who's in the Iron Man suit.
No.
And I put my money as Pepper Potts.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm laying the money down.
You had to hear first, folks.
Sort of Rescue. It was in the comic. Well, it was Rescue, wasn't it? Is the name of the armoured Pepper Potts. She got the rescue armour. She had a big role in Fear Itself and everything.
I've got some Fear Itself over there somewhere.
That is probably the last good crossover series that I've really gone into.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
People should just let Matt Fraction take the helm on everything. The man can't do no wrong, yo.
No. Totally agree.
But no, moving back to
DC.
Yeah, how did this happen? How did you do that?
Sorry, that's my fault.
Oh yeah, we can talk about DC
I see
now.
what they're doing with Suicide Squad. They want to make it Guardians of the Galaxy movie, basically.
Don't say that.
They do. They want to take a small, property and be fun with it. But how can you possibly be fun with the Suicide Squad?
It's not. It's more.
It's not fun. It's not humor.
DC's not a humour-based comic. Marvel, they get away. They've got characters like you've got your Spider-Man, your Iron Man, people who are witty, who are funny, who will make you smile. DC hasn't got anyone like that.
No one really charismatic.
DC movies especially have no charm most of the time.
They're
the Batman one's great because here's Nolan. He's doing his usual take you by the hand and show you a realistic thing, and it really worked. But you can't take that approach, the Nolan approach, to Superman, because Superman is an alien, and
that's the most unrealistic thing ever. That's why most people prefer Batman, because Batman is an actual thing that could actually happen.
Exactly.
Whereas Superman's I'm invincible. You cannot destroy me unless you have this green rock that's from a planet that is gone.
All the best Superman stories have taken it to that. Just the next level of the reason Superman's great is because he's not like us. The reason Superman's great is because he is a sort of messianic symbol of being better. You look at All-Star Superman, for example. He's doing his best stuff when he's just being a better person than everybody else, and struggling to do it. And then taking him in the movie and being just ooh, it's grim. Ooh, it's Superman. No.
DC movie-wise need to. I don't know what they. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
They're totally coming back.
These are good.
Guys, I swear to God, I'm renouncing DC if anything bad happens when these.
Comic-wise,
I'm putting
DC
all my faith. Yeah, comic-wise, DC are still incredible.
Yeah.
But, film-wise, it's actually no, because when the final Batman in the trilogy, when that came out, it came out at the same time as the Avengers, and he managed to get close to the same amount of box office as the Avengers, with just one of their characters and like all of Marvel's characters. So,
yeah. But that was their first movie, and that was the third one. And no matter what they did, following from the Dark Knight, I would have paid to see it. If they're like, oh yeah, we're bringing back Calendar Man, and it's going to be all about it's going to be all him robbing a series of banks in Oklahoma City. I'd be like, yeah, I'll go see that. Yeah, it's a final Christopher Nolan movie. Take my money.
Fingers crossed on Batman vs Superman in 2000.
That's next year, isn't it? No, 2017.
Yeah.
16 or 17?
No, 16.
16.
It better be 16. I'm pretty sure it's
The
2016.
Gotham thing of just cramming in as many people as possible, though. It's like, you know,
Don't say that. I'm doing Selena for that.
the Aquamans, and we got the Wonder Womans.
Woman.
Wonder Woman's. Stephen Esquire will offend women, and he hates them at the end.
He
Pretty
hated
much.
them.
Yeah, essentially. Stephen Esquire is a writer, writes a boys' club, and just everything he does is just a big masculine.
No, it is.
And, you know, like, if you look at it, you look at Marvel films, people are like, what Black Widow should have her own movie. And I agree, she should. But she is possibly the most competent person inside the entire Marvel universe. Like, everybody else would be dead without her on a regular basis.
Yeah, definitely.
She says it herself in the new trailer, you know, I'm always picking up after you guys. It's like, well, yeah. You know, and
Like the mother of the group. Like, you look after everybody else.
badass mother who does everything right. And, you know, like, you've got all
I'm
these...
like, oh, I told you so.
But you look at, like, Batman, even Selena Kyle was in the third one was just sort of a really bad stereotype. And I don't know, I just think that there's less to connect with in DC films.
Yeah.
Less heart, there's less humanity in them. There is just a bunch of people punching through buildings.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's.
I don't know, I understand what you mean, though.
Also, I think Marvel, like, you know, they've got Joss Whedon, who is like pro women and all that. So you know, they've got that on their side.
We've got Captain Marvel coming up. Is that next year as well?
Yeah, 2017.
17?
Yeah.
I've lost track now because they just released
too
so
far away.
much.
I've like memorized it all.
No, I thought I did.
a Flash movie as well, and that's in like 2017 or 18. And I was like, well, that's so far
Yeah.
away. I'm going to forget about it by then.
Well, apparently, he's going to be making somewhat of an appearance in Batman vs Superman.
Chuck it
Yeah, I'm
out.
not sure how like true.
I don't know. I mean, like, this
Basically-
is the thing. Like, I've done, you know, like, I do like film journalism as well sometimes. So, yeah, it's what I've like heard, and it's like an actor called Ezra Miller who is in a film called We Need to Talk About Kevin. He's a really good actor.
Brilliant. film,
That's going to be
that, isn't
terrifying.
it? Sorry.
I know. Yeah, yeah, he is not the barrier.
He's great at being a sociopath. Let's make him the Flash.
That's the guy who basically goes weird, like shoots shit up. isn't it?
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
that
it's a
film,
really
yeah.
messed up film, but it's like
Yeah.
he's such a brilliant actor. He's also in The Perks of Being a Wallflower as
I've
Yeah.
not seen that yet.
which is a really great film. But yeah, I don't know. I'm always very much on the fence when it comes to like DC. I always think like, I'll see it and then I'll make my opinion. So once I've seen a trailer, at least.
The only
Wow,
thing that
that's-
kind of bothers me with films is when like they take things from the comics, but it's not exactly to the comic. And I've read that comic, and you've just completely taken it out of proportion. It's not the same anymore. It kind of stresses me out.
Yeah, they've really separated from the cinematic universe to the comics.
Yeah, it kind of annoys me sometimes.
That, and they've got the cinematic universe, then they've got the TV universe,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
they've got the Gotham universe,
Yeah.
which, you know,
There's a lot going on to keep up
Really?
with.
Don't say
I
that.
like Gotham. I'm actually following Gotham and I'm really enjoying it.
I am doing Selena
Did you?
Kyle for that.
It grew on me.
Winter. I just love the
Where?
look of like
What, the
Selena.
cosplay?
where
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that'd be wicked.
Actually, I put a picture on Instagram, and the actress who plays her liked it and commented on it, which was crazy.
I think
Yeah.
I saw that actually. 'Cause I saw you
Yeah,
on
and I
Instagram.
also had that, and then I had James Gunn like my Gamora picture
yeah,
on Instagram. So I was like, like full fangirling. At like it was like 4 a.m, and my boyfriend's like, "Go back to bed, God's sake." But I love the costume and I love her character. I think they've really captured the essence of like Selena, and I think Cameron's such a good actress, considering she's actually not an actress; she's a dancer. I think say what you will about like the TV show, but I think like they've definitely got her right.
No, I totally agree with that.
They got Edward Nigma right.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just there's really kind of no need for Jada Pinkett Smith's character, but I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm not a fan of her.
It's an argument with the penguin's limp. It's like no one limps like that.
Aww.
Poor penguin.
Hang on. I think Anastasia's still muted.
She is.
How long has this been happening for?
I thought you'd been quiet. I just saw you then talking, but no sound coming out.
And now Jess is frozen.
Jess is frozen. Oh, she's just really happy.
Yeah, she's really
she could really like.
Oh, I think Jess has lost some connection.
Not nice to make fun of the cripples. He might just have been in like a seriously bad accident. You don't know. Jess is gone.
It's got, as the character's his hair more gelled. His limp.
Yeah, it's getting like more and more like.
Yeah, it's just getting more and more.
It's like
they're slowly transforming him, aren't they?
Into Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Hey.
Oh
You
hey.
came back.
Hey, yeah, I don't know what that was. It froze, and then that all.
I was muted, and then when I unmuted myself, you kind of came back. I was like, she disconnected, and I was like, what is happening?
It's very technology.
It hates us, doesn't it?
Why can't we just live in like the Mass Effect universe where everything's on like an Omni tool, and everything would be so much easier.
I just wish everything was like digitally working, and then you can just like slide down the menu in front of you.
Exactly.
Get changed in the morning. Like, I want to wear these clothes.
Yeah.
What shall I ride to work this morning? The Batmobile. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Have you ever read any Ian M. Banks culture novels?
No.
They're all massive space opera sci-fi, but they're like it's a utopian anarchy where we're basically looked after by computers that more or less see us as pets, and rather than presenting it as a bad
no, that's so scary.
presenting it as a bad thing, it's a really good thing. So we all live in a society where death is no longer it's all been micromanaged away from us.
And
I like the idea that, if an alien race came to Earth and was like, we're going to give you all the gifts of the universe, but we're all going to occasionally come down and comb your hair. We're like, yeah, fine. My dog has an easy life, so does my hamster. Solid.
Good luck with that.
Oh yeah, no, it's yeah.
You can't comb my beard.
One of you, just in denial. You've got a wicked beard, I have to say.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
When Movember just comes around, you're just like, yeah, I'm already rocking that. Do you grow a bigger beard in Movember? Is that what you do instead?
No, I just go cleanly shaven.
Blaze a trail, my friend. Blaze a trail.
Yes, right. Other comic which I've got to mention. Has anyone been reading Postal?
I've actually heard about this.
That's Top Cow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I think the third one of that's come out today, or for me, Friday. Fuck you, postal system. I want them to be a plug. Yeah.
Over Easter, that just screws everyone up, really, doesn't it? Like, everything just stops.
Well, no, because I order mine online, so they get released Wednesday, so by the time they get to me through the post, it's Friday. So I have to wait an extra 2 days to get my new comic book day.
It saves you going to the shop every day, though. Like every Wednesday.
Exactly. It's a half an hour drive to my closest comic book shop, so... Yeah, I'll just wait 2 days.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 30 minutes train.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Pull down into town.
Has anyone else read Postal, or is it just me?
It's just
me.
Please tell us about it, though. Don't spoil it, but tell me about it.
I'll give you a brief... I can't tell you too much because I get so excited about this. Because for me, it is the best book out there at the moment. I think it's going to be almost like the new Saga.
Oh, please.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually really
my
excited.
good feelings. But I don't know how long it's running for a series. I don't know if it's like a 6-part one or if it's going to be a continuous one. I hope it's continuous. Either Jess is listening intently or she's froze again.
It's speaking for me, so I'm like...
No, that's right. Yeah, Postal basically is a town out in like the middle of nowhere type thing, and everyone who lives there are all like criminals and stuff. They're basically getting new identities. They move to this town, and then they get sorted out these sort of underground type identities, and then they move on again. And you can live in this town on condition that no crime is committed. Everyone gets along, so you don't cause alert to the police to come into this town. It's run by a mayor who basically oversees all these criminals living in this one little town.
Oh,
And
so cool.
there's it's the mayor's female mayor, and it's her son who's got Asperger's. Yeah, I said Asperger's.
Yeah.
I think that's Asperger's. Asperger's.
It's Asperger's in America.
Asperger's
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
weird.
Asperger's. So he's basically like a form of autism.
That
Going from what I've heard.
So yeah, so he's a little bit special, but he's very he's like super OCD. And
That's
stuff
the good
like
thing
that.
about it though, because like everything they comes with like superpowers. I'm like,
But no one's got superpowers. This is it.
no,
This
but
is-
no, okay, it's like
Oh,
Asperger's,
yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
other, like your other sense like heightened.
Yes,
kind of thing.
exactly.
So, like,
it's
kind of
basically it's in
like
this little
super-
town, and the first one basically leads through, and at the end of the first one, there's a dead girl in the street,
Ooh.
and you're like, but no one's allowed to commit
Hey,
any
what
crimes.
happened?
And then they've got someone's killed this girl, and then the second one then leads into this whole other like backstory behind it all, and it's brilliant. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Did you
I'm
read
trying to like,
your Nail Biter?
yes, I've not read it. I've seen it.
That's a confusing comic book because I can't make my mind up if it's really good or really awful.
It looks really good, but I missed it. I found out about it on about issue 5, and I couldn't get any of it back. So I'm gonna have to wait to collect that on trade, I think.
It's trade 1 and 2 are out at the moment.
Oh, are they?
Yep, they're up there.
I've got this image that he's got this really, those really long ladders with the wheels that are attached to his bookcases like one moment. And just gets up there and like slides
You'll
down.
see him disappear in a minute, and just his feet
Yeah.
slide by the screen as he's at the
It
top.
will be.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that does happen. I'm really like, don't ruin it for me.
I've heard Nailbot is really good, but I've not read it yet. But now I'm going to.
It is. I think it's really good, but then you sort of read it and you're like, "This is really good," but it doesn't. I don't know. There's just something about it that just. It's like serial killers. Everyone has an obsession with serial killers. You turn the television and every single TV show's got a serial killer in it, and that's sort of what it's about. But it feels like the person who's written it hasn't done too much reading into serial killers and the psychology of it. So whilst it's a great story, and you've got really interesting characters and a really interesting plot, you just feel like it's happening it's in an alternative universe where most people have never seen a horror film before. It's just because you ever watch a horror film and they're like, I'm gonna go to the window now, and it's like, don't go to the window, you'll get a
Don't
thing.
go to the window, you insane!
Then
Don't
they
go in the shower, don't go down that creepy hallway. It's like so obvious.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. It's a universe where people have never read a book on serial killers before. There's they've just discovered them. Sort of like the film Invention of Lying, but Invention of
Yeah.
It's sort of.
You've put me off it now.
I would read it. I mean, obviously, I
always ordered it.
1 and 2, so
That's what you guys have done to me. You guys did like, yeah, DC. No, that's the end. Like,
if it can, because the thing is that honestly, you don't have to like something to enjoy it.
That's true, as long as it makes sense.
It's like Apocalypse Now. I think it's a good film, but I don't say I enjoy it. But,
Yeah, I feel that way about American Psycho, like the book. It was a horrible, when I was reading it, I was like, oh my god, I am never having sex ever again.
How long did that last, Jess?
You've been kicked out of the house.
But it's an incredible story.
Yeah.
It's incredibly well crafted, interesting, compelling, and utterly disgusting. And it's similar with Fighter. It's just
I think you can something's well written or well made, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have liked what you read, kind of thing. Like, but you can appreciate that a lot of effort and it was well written, kind of thing.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't. I don't know how I feel about like Bret Easton Ellis's writing, because like he seems to describe everything in the setting before actually talking about what happens, which just kind of
quite tedious. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like you're a wild, like just get on with it.
Yeah.
In American Psycho, all the descriptions of suits he gave, if you actually piece them together, they don't make any sense. Like every single pattern and colours, they all conflict, and that's sort of the point. Is that especially American Psycho, there's such a focus on the hollow, shallow nature of capitalism and materialism, and yet it makes no sense in comparison to the actual novel itself. Yeah. But if you want to read Bret Easton Ellis's best book, in my opinion, Luna Park is possibly his best and his scariest.
Okay, cool. Because like I mean, I've been
It's over there. What's it going
to Let me go find it. Yeah, because I've been interested in reading sort of like what was it? Is it Rules of Attraction? Which is another one which has got like Patrick Bateman's like brother in it. Which is kind of like a nice little like tie-in. But yeah, I would be interested in like reading a bit more of his work, to be honest. Yeah.
While we're on authors of novels, I'm going to quickly slip in a mention to a Mr. Calvin V.A. Allison, who writes a series of novels called World of Sorrow. And if you haven't read these, read them. He's released World of Sorrow 10 at the moment, and he's just writing World of Sorrow 11. I'm up to number 7 at the moment. They're fantastic. They've got everything in it. I mean, it's a supernatural type book. It's based in England, and it's about the underlying society of like werewolves, vampires, ghosts, ghouls that all live amongst us, and they work for the LB 2717, I think the name of the company they work for is called, and they basically have to keep an eye and make sure that no illegal like ghouls or monsters or anything come into the country, and everyone they basically police the underworld, and it is fantastic. It's such a very well
sounds
written.
it.
He's a very
UK Border Force Undead Edition.
Sorry,
UK Border Force Undead Edition.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
I'd give solid on that one.
It is really good. See, I'll link that on. We have a little section. It'll be down there somewhere.
Yeah,
on the website in the descriptions. Yeah, where we link everything. So I'll link to him, because if you ever, he sells all a lot of his stuff he sells digitally, so you can go and you sort of buy the PDFs and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely worth, even if you just buy the first one to see if you like it. But I'm guarantee I read the first one. I literally read the last page and then opened the second one.
I love what happens when you need more.
Yeah,
you need it, and that's why that's
problem when you go to the comic store and you end up spending like £200 in the comic book store, and then I come home and I'm like,
Jesus.
Why did I get the second one? Like, this is why I don't go that often, because I literally spend all of my money in there, and I'm like this graphic novel, and the second to this graphic novel, and I'm like, but over there, and then I end up having like a big pile of books, and then I'm like, no.
But then
you get home and you read the first two, you're like, why didn't I buy the third one?
Yeah.
And like you have to you sit there thinking what happens in the next one until next week when you can go and get it. It's so stressful.
See, that's why I just buy mine online, and that's even more dangerous.
Oh,
you just click.
Amazon one.
Like Amazon is like my favourite store. I get everything from there: cosplay parts, comics. It's.
I vary with getting my cards from there just in case, like, if they don't fit properly and I can't send it back, it will just really stress me out.
Have you done your nails Harley Quinn style?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just looking then, I thought it's either Harley Quinn or Deadpool, but I'm just
terrible. Yeah, well, this is from Con as well, so.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I just saw them flash by then. I thought, did I just see that or not? Yeah. Awesome. Good work. Yeah. So has anyone else got any other books they want to recommend to anyone, or something that's interesting in reading?
I've been reading just a comic book called Chew.
Oh God, that's brilliant.
What's that about?
It's about an FDA agent who basically finds like clues from like murders and stuff by eating things, and sometimes that includes people.
Yeah, he's a psychic. He gets an emotional reading from each thing.
Yeah.
And it's sort of set.
You describe it better than I do.
Like,
It's set in an alternative. It's like set in the past. So it's set in like a future that could have happened, where bird flu like killed loads of people, and chicken is now illegal. He starts out like as an FDA investigator, uncovering the illegal racket of chicken smuggling, and it turns into something much, much different very, very quickly. And he has a partner in volume 2. It's just amazing. Like, it is really odd.
That's called Chew.
I love it.
Chew, yeah.
Chew. Right. I'm going to look into that.
He's like looking for it. He's like, 1 second.
Can't reach it. I'll get up the ladder.
Yeah, go get the ladder.
While he's doing that,
if I don't see him slide past now, I'm going to be so devastated.
is anyone read Cluster?
No.
Yeah, no. Cluster's great as well, actually.
I'm so glad you're here tonight.
No, Cluster's
You read all the same shit as
He
me.
seems to have read everything. This guy is like, yes.
Add me on Facebook.
Yeah. Chew.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I love the cover as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Can I see
the artwork's amazing.
I'm trying to find a really decent page.
Yeah, just find like the most interesting artwork page.
Oh, right, I found a page where a bunch of French terrorists have taken over the magazine, taken over a newspaper.
Oh, that's good.
For podcast listeners, we're now showing a bunch
Listen to how amazing this artwork is.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
But the really weird thing about it is just, I don't know. The beautiful thing about it is the panel layouts. And it's something that I probably appreciate more because I do like my own artworks. But just like it uses blank space, something that people are frightened of using in comics.
Yeah, definitely.
You can always tell a really good writer in comic books because they're not afraid to have a page where nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
everything's just completely focused on the artwork.
I'm gonna chuck dialogue into this baby, but Chew uses silence, and
on the page in the middle where like there's just an entire page in the middle that's just like completely just artwork, and it describes everything perfectly more than it would do if there was words added to it.
Yeah,
like, you don't need words.
What we'll talk about next. Another fantastic one is No Mercy. I'm going to assume Nick read that.
Ooh.
I was
test that today.
The cover.
I was going to buy it, but I didn't. I don't know why.
It's good. It's going to be, but as you said about those people who aren't worried about using blank space, the centre of the book.
I knew it'd be the centre.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It just leads up to that point, which is great because you read through it, and then the bit, obviously, which you can see there, the bus goes off a cliff, and they just take up an entire centre. Which I was like, that's just too good because that's the dramatic, and you can always see it in slow motion.
And you hear it in your head as well.
Yeah, very, very clever book. It's basically about a bunch of school kids who are going off. I think it's in Africa. I want to say Africa. I can't actually remember now. But they're going off to build like a school for people. And there's some underlying drug smuggling going on, I think, and stuff on this bus. But they have to go on this little crappy old bus and led by a nun, and they get deserted in the middle of like this very dangerous territory. And all their phones are smashed, and they're just left out in the middle of nowhere. And they obviously then I can imagine the story is going to be them trying to find their way back. And I think they're going to come across some quite nasty people doing different things.
We'll pick that up tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be kind of like
a
religious kind of thing.
The story's been done before. You know, they're not the first people to say, "Oh, let's strand a bunch of teenagers in the middle of nowhere and see who survives." It's been done before.
I think I've watched an anime that does the same thing. Really.
Yeah, the way they're doing this, I don't know. Just something rings slightly different and a little bit
modern Lord of the Flies.
That was the last thing
it was. That was just going to be like another thing. But I think it looks to be quite a. I think it's going to be quite gruesome, quite a graphic program. It's already led you into a few sort of the lead characters and introduced a few sort of ones which I think are going to come out on top. So yeah, it's very well written, but definitely worth, if you see it, No Mercy, pick it up and start collecting. So I think that's going to be. Like I say, once again, it's another image. I think it's image, isn't it?
Image just doing their own thing, and
how much it's grown sort of in the past year, because the past few years really. They've just kind of like introduced like a load of new artists, and they've like completely like revamped it. I love it. It's great.
Speaking of like pages with just one page for art link, I love
which book's that in?
I'm so sorry. Everything, yeah. The Court of Owls, the first one, volume 1. If you've read it, it's bloody incredible. I love it.
You almost swore then, didn't you?
I almost said bloody though. I didn't.
It's
hell.
I didn't. I didn't swear.
Well, as long as we haven't said the C word, guys.
Yeah, no
everyone's going to say it now. They're like,
that was the grand rule. I've been,
see you next Tuesdaying of a comic right here.
in all fairness, we've done a podcast a couple of weeks ago, which we couldn't actually air because we had a cosplayer on who I'm very good friends with. But he's a complete troll. I'm afraid.
Is he cosplay troll?
No. I'm not going to say who it is because he's going to draw attention. That's all he wants. He feeds off it. But yeah, we're halfway through the podcast and he was making things out of Warbler on camera. And then we're talking to someone else, and then all of a sudden we look back and he'd made a giant cock and balls out of Warbler.
Oh, nice.
And you have to keep a constant eye on him because he's like a child.
That's bad podcast guesting.
Wait, are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, great.
No, so it's podcast.
You've never catch me doing something as gratuitous as that. Yeah, so, you should buy my comic book.
Yeah.
I was like, it's okay because we're not recording, so we can say whatever we like.
Yeah. We're recording. But yeah, so you can say pretty much anything. No C-bombs, but you can swear.
No.
Going back to incredible artwork, though, just admire this for a little bit.
Wow.
One man need.
I was just like... Not biased at all. Not totally not biased.
That's the good thing about DC. Their art is just superb. The guys they've got doing that.
Court of Owls though was bang. It was good.
Yeah.
I find myself reading it again and just thinking they introduce characters that that aren't very well known. Like, yeah.
Owls man.
Well, did anyone else have anything else then that they wanted to get the word out to anybody?
Comics-wise, not so much.
Or what anyone else is up to in the future, or we pretty much covered most of the comics that we wanted to.
Lots of
last year, but this year I think I'm going to have to be hitting all the big ones, like London.
Yeah.
And was that you coming to London Comic Con? I'm like, well, I wasn't going to, but I guess
I know. Because now that I've got a job and everything, it's seeming like a lot more likely that we'll be going in maybe like October. If not, we're definitely going to go to either Cardiff or Birmingham. Yeah,
I'll be in Birmingham.
I love Birmingham. I was at Cardiff, which is why I wasn't at Birmingham like just a few weeks ago.
I haven't heard a lot about the Cardiff cons.
Yeah, it was okay. I think we just had a bit of a bad experience because we kind of went there with like very little money and we got charged 20 quid for a taxi. So like just a lot of like sort of strange things happened over the weekend, but we met some incredible people, some people who I'm actually like teaming up with to do some like cosplays with. So yeah, really awesome guys. It was quite funny actually because when we went to the after party at Cardiff, me and my boyfriend I did Gamora and he did Tony Stark and he had the arc reactor and everything, and we went in and everyone was like, Gamora, Tony, and it was so like humbling, especially after like the day that we had as well. I was kind of quite taken back by it and really humbled. But yeah, in terms of like future stuff, I'm working on like my Inquisitor after Scarlet Witch, and I've just it's going to be like my massive cosplay project with like filler cosplays in between, like really easy-ish ones. I've like blagged one of my friends to do Cullen from Dragon Age because I'm doing an elf inquisitor, so we thought like, we could do like a romance photo shoot, and so I've got that planned. Other than that, just see what the future holds, I guess.
London, everyone's off. I think we're all after London MCM, aren't we?
I'm at MCM,
Yes, we're all off at
Everyone.
London MCM Comic Con then. But has anyone been to FCC Comic Con in London?
Yeah.
I've had like mixed opinions about it, and I don't really know.
I think London Super Comic Con, is better than MCM.
It's not as
more
busy.
about like films, isn't it? Film and TV.
Yeah, London. Yeah, but they said that like last year, that it was poorly organised.
That's because
I heard about that.
Yeah, because apparently people were queuing for about 6 hours and then got refused at the door, or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's a bit.
Yeah, it's all because because Stan Lee was there, it just went absolutely
mad.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And it was like 200 degrees inside the building.
That's what they said. They said the air conditioning wasn't working or something. So, and if you're a cosplayer, like it's hard to stay white with a big smile when it's that hot inside. So,
we spent the Saturday down in the car park doing shoots in the car park.
Yeah, because it was
we just couldn't go in there.
I always think that MCM is too much. Is now too much about big companies and it is about great.
Completely.
MCM's been taken over by a different company now. That is like now. Is it Belgium? That they've been taken over by different people, basically. So like this year in Birmingham was the last time that MCM was going to be owned by the same people. Like someone else has bought it out.
Mets in Ireland trying to set up recently because they were trying to do it on the same day as other cons to overshadow and kill them. Which is it's just not how you should do things.
I hate that because I want to go to all of them. You can't just arrange cons that close together or on the same day.
Exactly. Yeah, because I felt quite
sit in your competition.
I think to get more people going is if you could do both. Because if there was two that close together, I would go to both of them instead of having to choose between them.
Yeah, that's the dilemma that we had because we love Birmingham because it's such, the NEC, it's fantastic for like a convention. But we also really wanted to go to Cardiff because we'd never been before. James Masters from Buffy was going to be there, but he pulled out in the end. So we just thought we'll go for the new one. It'll be an experience, but I think we're a bit more lenient towards Birmingham this time. But yeah.
November, next round, we should go.
I mean, they're on the same weekend, and it just sucks.
No, there is one at the end of August this year. End of August this year, I think 28th and 29th, there is a new Comic-Con, and it's in Bournemouth. Down in the deepest, darkest of Dorset, which is just down the road from me. So I will be
Dorset! I'm going to have to try and learn how to get there.
Yeah, it's from Birmingham, honestly, it's like a straight road. There's not much to it. But yeah, it's going to be the first one. But it's Bournemouth Film and Comic Con, so it's run by Showmasters. It's in a place called the BIC, which is quite a big, nice building. But the main thing, which not many people realise, is the BIC is literally 2-minute walk to the beach. So for cosplayers in photo shoots and stuff,
that would be a brilliant idea.
If you did like a swimsuit version, beach version of something,
that's what happened. I've seen a Harley Quinn do a beach version of Harley Quinn in like a bikini, and I thought she looked really good. But I don't know if I'd be able to be that brave in Dorset. Yeah, what's her name?
Yeah.
Is it
Kitty Young, isn't it?
Yeah, Kitty Young. Yeah. Kitty Young, she did a Harley Quinn cosplay in a bikini, and she did look really good.
Yeah, I remember seeing it at San Diego, they did the beach version of all the Marvel characters, like swimsuit.
Yeah, but there's a difference between our beaches and Diego's beaches. So you will not get me in a Harley Quinn bikini in England because I will freeze there. And I really will be white all over because I don't even need face paint for that because it'll be that cold.
No, but I said Bournemouth's got an absolutely lovely beach. It's got good pier. It's a big, clean beach, Bournemouth. And it's a 2-minute walk from where the convention is. So it's definitely going to be a convention this year to watch out for. But it's going to be the first one.
Awesome.
So hopefully not too busy.
Yeah.
And hotels are quite cheap down Bournemouth as well, if you pre-book.
Yeah, so
they're not London prices.
Hotels in London, just do it quickly because they're so expensive.
Exactly. You can get hotels in Bournemouth sort of £50, maybe £60 a night.
That's good.
Which is cheap.
Well, good, yeah.
And B&Bs and stuff, and literally by the BIC where it's all been held, that is where all the hotels and bed and breakfasts are. So there's literally hundreds to choose from, all within sort of 5-minute walk.
Apparently they've made a Batman hotel, like a strictly Batman hotel in Manchester now.
Well, that's where we're going then.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty amazing.
I have a friend who recently moved to Korea, and there's a lot of really unlicensed stuff there. And opposite the nightclub he likes to frequent, there's a Batman fried chicken shop. It's a Batman-themed fried chicken shop, which is...
Just take my money now. Just take my money and take me there.
Oh, just make it rain, but...
Yeah, I don't ever want to eat anything with bat in the title. Or man saying that.
Yeah, fair.
Man chicken! What?
Yeah, man chicken.
Man chicken.
Don't ask questions. It's
There's
the
some
night.
joke about a giblet there, isn't there? But I'm not going to.
Oh.
Can I sell myself for a moment? Yeah,
Any Batman-related hotel I would love to stay in. I
if
feel like I was in the Batcave.
big, busy year coming up for me and Rob, who has recently passed away to the great beyond.
Disappeared.
He's not actually
This
dead. His
episode-
Skype didn't work.
To his memory until he returns.
I would like to point out that he's not deceased. He's just...
No, he's
He
not.
could become
not-
back again.
He is dead.
He's in the fade. It's okay. He's in the fade.
He'll return with half his health points in a bit, but and he'll do half damage until he kills a boss.
He will eventually respawn. He's just not here at the moment.
Yeah. But if you go to Facebook, you may have heard of it. It's a small family-run website. Facebook.com/Madius Comic Books. We've got a really busy year of releases. If you look down there, I mean, I am told that there is a list of all of our Facebook page and also some of the products you can buy. But we've got comic books coming out of our ears. We've got we're running an anthology series called Paper Cuts and Ink Stains, which has got.
Very good. Read it, reviewed it, brilliant.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've got my title, which is 50 Signal, which is all about space exploration, and we're currently working with a band to have a concept album about the comic that will be sold with the comic. So you'll be able to listen to the album of the comic whilst reading the comic of the album. And we've also got things like Functional... Pardon?
That's some sort of Inception right there. isn't
Yeah,
it?
right.
Yeah.
I've heard, I know someone who's doing something quite similar.
I've been receiving texts all evening from the guy who's doing it, just going, I'm doing this! I'm like, that's fantastic. Music is like wizardry to me. I don't know what you're doing. But we've got Functional Samurai coming out, which is a silent comic book all about a samurai in Converse who kills zombies. We've got Average Joe, which is about a nerd who finds out that the best place that he could ever live is the Norse apocalypse. We've got a comic book series just coming out of our nose, and if you want to be in part of that, then please do just like us on Facebook and support the Kickstarter that we've got going on at the moment and everything.
Definitely.
We have
good
a Kickstarter
Kickstarter.
going. 5D Comics have got a Kickstarter going, but Rob is the letterer for that, so we're trying to do a press for that to make it all happen.
I
But
actually watched your last podcast to find out what Kickstarter was.
Yes.
Because they were like, there was this one girl on the show that was like, what is Kickstarter? I was like, yes, what is Kickstarter? Please tell me.
Did you
And,
watch the last podcast?
bankrupt 60% of the time.
I wanted to know what to expect. I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch the last one.
Hey, we got viewers. One.
I'm like, "You're
Beyond is still early this afternoon.
You know what,
I
sorry?
called and made a Skype account specifically for this because I didn't know I was going to be on until this afternoon. And I was like, "You're doing a podcast because you were the working internet connection in the computer."
Yeah, I actually uninstalled Skype. And then you were like, oh, podcast. I was like, okay, let me just reinstall Skype. 1 moment, please.
Our last podcast, I looked this afternoon, it had been downloaded 639 times.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's a lot of
is good.
time.
You do download it this many times.
Yeah, I've now got 629 copies of that on my hard drive. Under different IP addresses.
If you enjoyed it, download it twice.
Absolutely.
Buy the T-shirt.
Yeah, and
Got
and
different internet
and
cafes.
I've also seen that people don't enjoy watching us as much as they do listening to us.
Really?
Apparently.
Wow.
No idea
Yeah. Very much.
You'll miss out on my fabulous library.
Yeah, well, you're missing out on all the amazing artwork we're showing you. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. I personally, I'd normally sit down and watch something, but then a lot of people do it. I think with podcasts, especially now, they will listen while they're driving or they listen while they're commuting. So they just stick their earphones in, and if they want to listen to us,
It has to be like my favourite Harley
Talk
Quinn
about
Yeah,
it
that's
now.
what I think.
It's what I do. I like. I've listened
Which
to so
one's
much Harmontown
That's the
recently.
first print as well. So like, it's like really expensive to buy now because it's a first print. But yeah,
is that
If you
issue
have
2
it's issue. Yeah,
of the new 52?
yeah.
Mm.
What have you got the second print?
Wait.
I've got
Okay, wait, I've got the
box
first print, so when you come back, I can just show you them all. This one I particularly like just because I love the Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn duo. So, like, she just gets, like, roped into everything. So. Have you got your collection?
Right. Yeah, I'm back. Stop talking about me.
Aww.
Harley.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got to colour my own in. That is the same one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, yeah. So I've got to get my Sharpies out and do it myself, I think.
You know what? You can use mine as a reference, and it'd be like colour by numbers. Like, and now you need like a kind of like a maroon colour right here.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
remember
why.
the new 52 comic book day. I was so excited. I actually went down and like bought just a fuck ton of DC comics. It was, you know,
That's an official measurement as well.
This one's expensive as well because Roller Derby Harley is so expensive figurine to buy. So like if you see a Roller Derby Harley figurine, it's normally like really expensive now. Like, and you know the pop vinyls as well. If anyone's heard of what pop vinyls are, they're
Of course.
Yeah. The Roller Derby Harley as well, it's like more expensive than all the other ones. And I was like, why? Like, please just sell it to me. But it was at Comic-Con for like £25 and all the other ones were like £10. I was like, oh, okay.
Because I saw the issue 1 first print of the new 52 Harley at a convention for like 15 quid.
Which one? This one?
No, issue 1.
Oh, no, wait, hang on.
Issue 1 first print.
This is the first print, isn't it? No.
God, you don't keep them in any form of
No,
wrapping?
I do. No, some of them are. Like, some of them actually are. It's just like, some of them aren't, kind of thing. Because they were, but I've had to take them out to bring them downstairs, kind of thing. I do look after them. They're all like perfect.
Yeah, I just saw one the other day that there's like 15 quid for an issue 1. For issue 1 wasn't that long ago.
Does anyone actually have issue 0?
Yeah, I've got issue 1.
I was so happy with issues. Isn't this the one? Yeah, this is the one where they do all the different art styles, and they're like, and she's like, which artist is drawing me now? Oh, yeah, and she looked really badass in most of them.
Yeah, no, issue 0. Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed that one.
Probably the most expensive comic I've got a first print of Transmetropolitan.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I managed to get it signed by Warren Ellis, Derek Robertson, and Jeff Darrow, who did the cover for it.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
God, hang on.
Oh, man. We're all doing it now. We're just sort of reaching behind us and pulling stuff out.
I know. This is the problem. I'm not in my man cave, so I can't do that.
That's why, because I
Still-
was originally in mine. I was like, I'm just going to bring
Still
everything
boxed.
Yeah.
It has the air with it.
It's still got 1980s air in there.
Oh,
Wow.
I would pay money just to huff that.
Yeah, I've got it's a collection.
Just like breathe deeply when you open it, kind of thing.
Yeah, 30.
You probably die.
Like some Cheetos or something.
So it's got X-Men issue 1, X-Force 15, X Factor 85. That's with Simon Cowell.
Ooh.
Yeah, just got a load of old ones I've never opened, so I don't really know. I just
I've
got
put
it.
them all back in order now. Where's number 5?
But yeah, so that's our collection of comics been on show. Obviously, apart from Jess, who sat in her boyfriend's flat with nothing to show.
Oh, I have a grunt. I have a grunt pop vinyl. That's it. That is my baby. And it's all the way over there. So,
what, sorry?
a pop vinyl of Grunt from Mass Effect.
Oh,
That's all I have.
Grunt from like Halo was going to get very excited.
No, Grunt. He's like, I mean, I always say that, like, if I'd pick a baby Krogan over like an actual baby for a child.
I have all the Mass Effects downstairs. I've never played them. I've never come around to it.
And now
no.
5, Harley.
You have
before we were going to be getting ready to go soon, because we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah,
But,
sorry about
but no, so before we go, is anyone going to be playing the new Mortal Kombat X next week?
I need to do it because I've been following it like since like for the past few months, and I'm so excited. I love like the new characters. I've seen
pre-ordered it with Jason Voorhees.
Oh,
I just saw it damage people. You know,
Oh.
it looks pretty good. The whole 3 playstyles thing looks really interesting.
Yeah, look, can't wait for that. I just had to get that in there. just
Big part
I'm
of
gonna-
myself as well, you know.
I'm gonna buy it, and we're gonna do a stream. Okay, we're gonna do this.
That would be an amazing idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you do gaming streams? Yeah.
is everyone on PC or?
I have a really bad PC here.
But I mean, gaming wise, do you game on PC or are you console?
No, I'm trying to get more into like since I'm here because I haven't got my Xbox. I am like doing sort of like PC gaming at the moment. But yeah, console has been like sort of the first one for me. But yeah,
I was gonna say, like, I've never been a PC gamer. I've always been a console gamer. But like, I suppose if you could get into it, it's just for something used to the.
Once you've gone PC, you never go back.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like I have.
Like,
I've. The problem is at the moment, like my boyfriend's like laptop, like his computer is pretty much a makeshift one that he's sort of like hacked together. So it's like the Frankenstein of PCs at the moment. It plays stuff, but I don't.
People actually do that though. They actually buy graphics cards and like put things back together and make it better.
Exactly.
I've just ordered one tonight, a new desktop. Which I'm getting someone else to build it. I ain't got time for that shit. But I just designed it and built it. So yeah, I'm very excited about getting that now.
Very nice.
At the moment, this is what everything is being run off of. The laptop.
I can't actually show you
Which
my
is beautiful, but-
computer because the camera's built into it, so that's
I have a laptop, in case you haven't noticed. Like, I'm just sitting in like.
I can pull the keyboard off.
Hey. I will definitely be on Twitch next week on the release night of Mortal Kombat, so you can watch me get my
I am
ass
actually going
handed to you.
to a release party for it. I think.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'm going to like the. Oh, maybe it's already been. I don't know. Fab Cafe in Leeds are doing like a launch party for it.
That's really cool.
So
Well,
Like, I would love to
come to Leeds. It's the centre of the
Yeah.
universe.
Everyone's like every
where
day.
is that? Fab Cafe is brilliant. They're doing a closing down forever party though, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to it this weekend. Yeah. Sorry, I've got a busy weekend.
They're
but
being
yeah,
forced to move because the giant wheels of capitalism are grinding my city into the ground. It's true. Leeds is a changing city. Like, so much stuff is building, so many things are popping up all over the place. It's really quite odd.
Yeah, well, like they're relocating. They're not completely closing down, but they haven't told the location.
Right. Well, anyway, guys, we shall leave it at that. There's been almost 2 hours now.
Yeah.
We've covered everything, comics that we like.
No, everything, just ever.
Everything.
Yeah.
Comic
Conventions, meaning of life.
Games.
Politics, food, literature. I hope you kept those bits in there.
Absolutely, I definitely didn't cut that out.
Yeah, like paleontology, physics.
And yeah, and hopefully next time we will have Rob back.
Yeah.
We'll try and get him back on the next one. And yeah, we will talk more comics and hopefully new releases next time.
Yeah, well, I'll hopefully go buy some more new comics.
Go and read comics. Do what you are born to do and read comics.
Make them for some people.
It is your destiny. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. And
Awesome. Yeah, I had a good time.
yeah, and we shall see you all next time. And listen, subscribe, download, share.
Description.
Description.
I
Click
should-
on all the links.
I
On all the
should-
links.
Like this video.
Buy his shit.
Yes. Like our Facebook pages
Like our
as
Facebook
well.
pages, yes.
Drop Dead Joker Cosplay, just go like it.
Absolutely.
Jessienoochies, go for it.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, guys.